Please. Yeah, please. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yo, what's going on, Knicks family? What's going on? How's everybody doing on a Saturday night, man? Yo, crazy, man. Crazy. Oh, man. City was on fire last night. On fire, man. Yo, crazy. It's just, I can't even go into details right now, man. I'm so still kind of flustered by what I saw last night. Crazy, man. The city is. It's amazing, man. Just how this team, what they've done, right? They've been able to capture all type of happiness inside you, man. Just because we've been waiting for this for such a long time, you know. To be in the space that we're in, man, with this team, it's just, yeah, it's legit. It's legit. It's no better feeling, man. No better feeling. It's great to see, man. It's great to see. It's great to see the city the way it is right now with this team. You got to understand, guys. The Knicks have not been good for a very long time. That 2 years ago, man. That with the pandemic year, man. Even though they went to the playoffs, that was kind of like it wasn't real to me because there was so many things going on. It was just entertainment, but it didn't feel real. It was weird. So the Hawks series, I kind of gave them a pass on that. I thought that was a little premature, and I kind of felt it was kind of fool's gold. The team that we had, I didn't think was good enough, even though Randall was playing out of his mind. I just didn't think they were good enough, so I wasn't surprised that things kind of panned off the way it did. But now this is different. This feels different. This does. I can't even put it into words. I mean, it just feels different, man. It really, really does. It feels like, in a lot of ways, I don't want to say they've arrived, but it feels like that. It feels like we have the perfect pieces to the puzzle, like we just do now. I know it. I know we're one piece away. That's what I think. But right now, this feels good, man. This feels good where we're at. It really, truly does. And it's crazy because when Brunson went down last night, you have concern, right? You do. You have concern. But a part of me really wasn't because how well IQ's been playing. So I saw how Brunson came down his ankle. It didn't look really too bad because he was able to walk on it. When you worry about sprained ankles, I've had a few of my day. Is if you can't put weight on it. If you can't put weight on it, you gotta be worried about that. but he was able to walk off. So I just figured that all he has to do was just get it taped up, right? And he was going to be good to go. But I wasn't so concerned because of the play of IQ. You don't get concerned if Grimes gets in foul trouble because you have Josh Hart. You're not concerned if RJ has an off night because you have Josh Hart. Then you can mix and match him and Grimes, right? So it's just a good place to be in, man. You know what I'm saying? When Big Mitch went down, right, I was a little concerned, right? I was worried. He fell too. I was nervous with that, but not too much because I like how our heart has been playing. He's not Mitch, but he's solid enough to where we can win games with him, right? So to me, that's where it's like it's great what we're building because now you say to yourself, you say to yourself, wow, okay, with us going down and with certain players going down, I don't feel any concern, man, because I feel like we're going to be able to pretty much like weather that because of what we've been able to build. So for me, that's the beauty of what it is that we're doing, what it is that we're building. Excuse me. So it's just a great place to be in, man. It really truly is. I think also too, in watching them play, and I'm just listening to the words that they're using. These guys are saying. They asked Randall after the shot last night. They said, "What is?" He said, "Man, we love each other, man. That's important, man. It's like what I said on my live show before. It's a brotherhood, man. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. There's many a times where a lot of times I wish I can go back to being part of that. And it's just being in the locker room, going to practice with the fellas, going through the wars, fighting for each other. It's a brotherhood, man. It's no better bond. It's nothing better than sports, man. Nothing. If anybody's ever been on a team, if you have been on your team, put thumbs up, please, in the chat for me. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm relating to. There's nothing better. There's nothing better than that. And yeah, man, it's just a great feeling, man. Watching the Carolina game too, man. Watching my boy RJ Davis, New York City kid. He's from White Plains, but a New York City kid, man. Watching them play. I think they won, man. They win or they lost. I'm not sure. I missed the score of the game. But yeah, man, it was great. It was great to see. It was just great to be a part of. Randall just solidified himself, right, as a star in this league. Not a superstar just yet. If he goes to the All-Star game next year again, he's up there as being a superstar. But that was a big time shot, big time. There's something, man, like you kind of, if you ever played ball before, whatever, you kind of get lost in the game. You get lost in it. They call it being in the zone, whatever you want to call it, but you get lost in it. And whatever you put up, it feels like it's going in. The rim looks like a big bowl. Like it is, you know what I mean? It doesn't look small. And when you're in that, you're hard to stop. And I think that's where Randall was last night, the zone that he was in. He was just locked in, man. He just was. From the beginning to the end, he just was locked in. 20 points in that first quarter, man. I mean, that's big time. That's big time. You can't, especially on the road. When you're playing at home, it's different. The crowd is different. But when you're playing on the road, man, and you're able to kind of, knock down big time shots like that, even though it's a pro Knicks crowd, it's big time, man. Big time, big time, big time. I don't know. I'm still saying. Let me see something. Let me see what's going on in my chat, man. Let me see if I can. Let's see what's going on here, man. Something. Let me see. No, I don't need that. 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 Why is this? It's not even showing. Hold up. Let me see something. Okay, no. It's like weird. It's not showing certain things. I don't want to see that. No. Sorry, people. Sorry, I was looking at just making sure. But so it was just a great win, man. Great win. You know, I wanted to come in here and do a quick live to really kind of talk about it. You know, we all know about what Randall did. We all know, right? Randall was exceptional. We all understand that, right? But to me, who would you say was the unsung hero? Who? Was it IQ? I think it was IQ, man. I think it was IQ. IQ was huge. IQ was big. IQ was big again, man. Once again, that's why I said like I wasn't really too concerned with Brunson going down, because we have IQ. So I wasn't too concerned about that, right? So you know his production. Sharon Bell, I appreciate you subscribing. Thank you so much, man. It's truly appreciated. Thank you for subscribing. If you can, just send a message in the chat right now. If you can, just say thank you or something, or give a thumbs up if you can in the chat. Because for some reason, it's like I'm not getting any messages here for whatever reason. I don't know why, but if you can, just type in that for me if you can, Sharon. If you could do that for me. I don't know why it's not doing that. I don't know. But anyway, but IQ was huge. IQ was huge. His production, man, has been on an all-time high. I mean, he's definitely, to me, in the mix for definitely sixth man of the year. Like definitely, like, you know, what he's been able to do, man, like just off the bench, has been exceptional. Period in the story. It's been exceptional. IQ's production. You have to understand too, you know, Julius was fabulous last night. He was, but he can't play the whole game. So you got to be able to keep that going. And even though the Knicks kind of like, you know, they kind of took the foot off the gas a little bit in the second half, I think a big part of that, man, was the refs. I mean, come on, man. I mean, the calls they were giving Jimmy Butler was out of control. Like, I was just sitting there watching the game like, yo, come on, man. You can't call that. You breathe on Butler. They're giving him the Jordan treatment. Like, you can't do that. Randall's getting hacked. You know, all types of things was going on, man. They wasn't calling nothing. How was it? Them cats, they went to the line 30 times last night. Jimmy Butler went, I think, 17 times last night to the line. I think the Knicks altogether as a team might have taken, I think, like 20 free throws or something. If anybody, you know, I don't, you know, please correct me if I'm wrong. But it was something on those lines. So it was definitely like a big gap, right, as far as what was being called, and you know, and I get it, right? You're on the road, so you're gonna get special treatment on the road. It's totally understandable. But it was, I mean, it was like, it was obvious. I mean, it was bad. Even that one call towards the end of the game when Knicks were up by 3 after Randall got the end one. That call on IQ was atrocious, man. That was a terrible call. That was the worst call all night. There's no way that IQ can cause that guy, Tyler Hero, to run into Bam like that. Like, there's no way. Like, I mean, you saw what was happening. I mean, he ran right into Bam and got knocked over. I was like, come on, man. I was like, how do you miss that call? Right? So To me, it was obvious. But if you guys did hear Jimmy Butler's presser, like he said, man, they didn't deserve to win. So it was only right that it didn't happen that way. It was only right. But I also thought when Jaylen Brunson came in, his contribution. Your agent Super Argo, man, what's going on, man? How you doing, man? I appreciate you coming by. Thank you, sir. The game was so dramatic and down to the wire that I thought I was watching the Charles Brewer Allen Houston. Yo, right? Exactly. Fist pump, right? It was iconic. Iconic. Him running down, throwing a fist pump. Iconic when Allen Houston did that. I remember that, man. I was going berserk back then when that happened, right? I don't want to say this felt like that because remember, that was in the playoffs. Remember, we were the lowest seed and we knocked off the number 1 seed. It was it was close. It was close. Because it was Randall, right? He epitomizes New York City. Period. Love-hate relationship we have with him. Is it warranted? Yeah. I mean, last year was a nightmare for him. And like I said in my other lives, we was going to trade him for a bag of Doritos. That was, everyone knew that. We wanted him out of here. But the way he's changed his game and what he's done, and hitting a big time shot like that for him, redemption, man. No better word I could use. But it was redemption for him. And I think that he has always said he wants to be here. Like, this is the place he wants to be. So it was great to have that happen for him. It was. And a lot of people had to eat their words about him, man, including myself. Because I was one of the guys, too, that said, we got to get him up out of here. Right? But, hey, man, I love him. He is New York City, man. He is. The game had playoff implications. It did, of course, for the seedings. But not just that, Agent. It also had the energy, man. Just the vibe in the building. I was home screaming, defense, defense. I was doing that in my crib. That's how much I was locked in. Yeah, Randall was taking it to a whole nother level, man. I don't know if you saw my heading, man. Is he in the running for MVP chatter? Right? I'm not gonna say he is. I think that's a deep ocean, right, to jump into. But I do think we got to have conversations about him being possibly All NBA, second team, right? First team, I know he's not going to make, but maybe second team, right? That needs to be a conversation. Oh yeah, Knicks had it on lock last. I think the percentage last night was 60-40. 60-40 last night. 60-40 Knicks fans up in there. This feels good, man. I mean, listen, it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. I started off my chat saying, 2 years ago, it didn't feel the same because of, the pandemic year, right? It felt weird. It didn't feel the same. And I didn't really believe in that team. I was happy what they were doing, but I kind of felt it was fool's gold. What they're doing now and the pieces they got, I'm totally locked in. I'm believing, right? I really do believe that this team can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I really, truly believe that. I think that, I would hope that they wouldn't match up with the Bucks in the second round because that's going to be tough, right? I think they're the toughest team for us to face in the East. But everybody else, I think we could beat. We already beat Boston at Boston, but us beating them tomorrow night, that's gonna really put the stamp that okay, we're legit because we don't beat Boston. What's that going to be? 3 out of 4 times, right? So we got to be mindful of that, right? Exactly what's going on and how the Knicks are playing and just what they look like as far as other teams. They're a dangerous out right now. They are. They can score at all levels, and they got guys off the bench, including IQ and of course Josh Hart that can score the ball and that can lock up defensively. See, that's tough. See, the playoffs is all about possessions. right? And you got to be able to get stops. The Knicks have players they can get stops. And they got a beast in the middle that can get shots up out of there like a Mitchell Robinson. And they got a banger in an iHeart that can get rebounds. And remember also, too, Randall's a banger, too, on the backboard. So you got to rebound and play defense. That's the key with the playoffs, period. Because you got to beat the team 4 times. So you see everybody so much. You know the sets. You know the sets. You know what people are running. You know who you got to guard. You know what they do. You know their favorite spot they got to get to. You know all that stuff. So it's no trickery. There's no foolery. Like, you know what's going to happen. You know what they're going to do. So who's going to be the better team that night, period, on the little things. Boston is desperate for a win. They lost to the Nets. This game will be intense Sunday. Absolutely. But you know what? We need it. We need it. This is all like getting data put into the database, right? Just getting the playoff ready, having a playoff. That's all this is collecting data. Last night was a great win, but it was collecting data. So now getting another win on the road against Boston is collecting data. So what happens is when they go on the road or they're ready in the playoffs, they're not going to be shell-shocked. Now, initially they will be because they know it's the playoffs, but once you start playing, it feels like a regular game after that, right? So that's the key. But you won't be nervous because you've been here before and you won before like this. So last night was important. Them losing the lead was important, and them pulling out the win was important because it showed that you can persevere through tough times like that and still pull out a victory. That's the key. It's easy to blow out teams, but how do you deal with adversity? How do you deal with when the calls aren't going your way? Do you sulk up? Do you get a tech and not be smart, right? Or do you continue to make plays? I talked about Randall. I talked about IQ. Brunson was enormous in that fourth quarter. Was he not? Enormous. Before Randall hit them shots, Brunson was the one keeping us in it. He was cooking Oladipo. Oladipo couldn't do nothing with him. And that little floater, that little run off the backboard, all that herky-jerky, crafty movement, nobody could check him. Nobody. So he was kind of keeping us right there. Like, we're up by 2, up by 3. He was keeping us right there in it. You know, Miami's making their push, but Brunson was keeping us in it. And then Randall closed the show. RJ's still playing defense like he's running on ice. The poor kid is getting burned on every defensive assignment. Yeah, man, he you know, I don't know, man. I don't want to say he's hurt. But he seems like slower. Like his reaction time seems off than what it's been before, right? I don't know if he's got a bad foot or a bad ankle, but it looks like he's laboring. His agility side to side doesn't look as quick. Like he's not quick off the reaction like he was last year. Right? So yeah, I know something's off with him, but once again, I said this before. He's a young guy, man. I know a lot of people want to hear it, but you got it. It's the truth. He's a young guy. And with him, he sometimes has tunnel vision. He thinks the only thing that can he's just got to score. Like, oh, I just got to score. I got to get mine. And it's not about that. He can affect the game in other ways. So, this is all an adjustment for him. But outside of that, I thought he was solid last night. His jumper was off, but he was going to that Baja. He was finishing. So I liked his production last night offensively. I mean, he had a solid 17. He could have had 20 last night. Honestly, he missed a couple of shots that I thought he should have made, but he was solid last night. He was solid. See, I'm not throwing RJ out with the bathroom. Like, I'm not, yes, he has to get better. We understand that. But you got to understand, guys, he's averaging 19 and a half points a year. Points a game this year. 19 and a half. So those 20 points are important when you're in the game. Those 20 points. Sometimes you look at the box score, you're like, damn, RJ had 19? RJ had 18, he had 17. Oh, you said 21, he had 25. I didn't even know he had that much. So them points matter. They do. I love him on that second unit. When they come in, we start the second quarter, I love him when he's there. He's playing the 3, Hart's playing the 2, IQ's at the 1, Obi's at the 4, Hart's at the 5. I love that unit. Because RJ could get busy on whoever's out there guarding him. Usually, like the bench guys, he could get busy on them. So, I love that unit. I love how they produce. So yeah, man. So yeah, you're gonna. He is what he is. He's a scoring wing. Like I said in my last show, how he's gonna get better is that Earl, what's going on, man? How you doing, my man? Glad you came by, Earl, man. Big game last night. See, you saw my boy Randall, man. Randall got his redemption. Redemption for him, man. But I appreciate you coming by, Earl. Thanks for coming by. So I think RJ is what he is. Like I said in my last live, he's got to play more like one-on-one, like open basketball, like with pros. Like he's got to go like to Black Ops in the city or out there in Cali with Rico. He's got to play open run with them cats. That's how he's going to get better. His jumper's going to get better. His handle's going to get better. He's got to have a couple of games where he's getting cooked to get better defensively. All that. That's going to help RJ. It is. Trust me, it is. Yeah, it definitely will. Great game. We gelling at the right time. Exactly. I'm glad you said that because this is a great push right now. I think we got another 18 games left or 17, I believe. Either 18 or 17 games left. This is a playoff push. You want to be playing your best basketball right now because then that's going to carry over into the playoffs. My biggest thing, knock on wood, I want guys to be healthy. We got to be healthy. That's the key. Big Mitch didn't score much last night, but he was imposing in that middle. He was imposing. You don't realize how just him being there alters shots. Guys are afraid. Instead of them going up strong with a layup, they'll kind of go to the side and make a move because they're afraid he's going to come over and block their shot. So Big Mitch, I love what he's bringing. So we got to keep him healthy. But you're absolutely right. This is a perfect time for everybody to be gelling. And then also, too, like I said before, winning cures everything. Guys are there for each other. Once, like I said before, it's like a brotherhood. But then also, too, guys are understanding what their roles are and what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing, period, because of how they're winning. Nobody wants to be the guy to stop the winning streak. Nobody wants to be the guy that's trying to be a superhero tonight. We don't need you to be a superhero. Play your role. You know what your role is, right? And that's it, right? We don't need Obi trying to, go one-on-one. We don't need you trying to do that. Don't do what you haven't been doing all year. Do exactly what you've been doing. What I did like about Obi last night, he was rebounding the ball and blocking shots. I like that with Obi. He's long, he's athletic. We need to see a little bit more of that from him. But it was. Listen, man. I loved it. Like my man Agent said, it was playoff atmosphere last night, big time. Playoff atmosphere. It was electric in the building last night. Electric. You could feel it. I wasn't there, but I felt it through the TV screen, man. I really truly did. And even with the ups and downs that came with the game, I loved it because I think that's what the Knicks got to go through that. I think you didn't finish, Earl. You got to finish putting something in. Something else I wanted to say. Also too. I mean, Josh Hartman. He's like he's a perfect piece, man. A perfect piece. He couldn't fit any better into what it is that we like to do. The guy doesn't need the ball in his hands. All he wants to do is play ball. And what I mean by play ball is defend, get rebounds, make layups, do it all. Like just do all the basketball things. Block shots. Just be a total ball player. That's all he wants to do. Knock down shots when he's wide open. Make the right play, make the right pass in transition. I mean, his basketball IQ is on a different level, man. Period. It's on a totally different level. Everyone has found their niche. RJ is still not comfortable yet. You know what's crazy? I see that at times, but I think he is though. I think he is finding his niche. I think he is comfortable. I just think that. All right. Let me say it like this. I keep on saying this, but I have to say it again. He's got to mature, man. He's got to mature. So he's still getting an understanding of where he fits in. But what I do love is that it doesn't stop him from being aggressive. Because once again, he's getting anywhere between 17 to 20 points a night. He's averaging 19 and a half points a game. So those 20 points are important for our production. Because there'll be times in the game where a couple people missing. RJ would get 6 or 8 in a row going to the rack. Right? So those points are needed, right? So we don't really have anybody on our team that can do what he does because he's big, he's a wing, he can go to the hole, he can finish. So I mean, you got Randall, you got of course you got Brunson, but after that, who else is there? IQ's not as big as him. So I think that he's comfortable. He just has to understand, like, I think he does understand it, but I just think he struggles. He doesn't understand, we don't need you to be the man. We just need you score the basket, make smart basketball decisions, defend. Let's get this W. One thing he did say, which is what I love, is that he said, we haven't done nothing yet. We haven't. We got to get to the playoffs, and when we got to see. But we haven't done anything yet. We still got 18 more games left. Like, we haven't done nothing yet, and I love that mindset. All right, Earl. Once he does, we'll be that much better. I just want him to let it come to him. Agreed. I do agree with that. I think, but that comes with his immaturity, man. He's still trying to find out where he fits in. I think with Brunson coming, he's the one that's had to adjust the most. Because remember, last year RJ got the bag, man, because he was doing his thing last year. He was. When Randall was being Randall, you're not knowing what you're going to get today because he's like that. RJ was even keel last year and had a lot of big games last year. So now you take the ball out of his hand, you put it in Brunson's hand. It helps Julius, but what about RJ? So RJ's still trying to figure it out. So that's why I say he's got to play more in the summer. He's got to maybe do some open runs also too with Brunson, get used to him, understand him, right? Mature a little bit, and I think he'll be fine. He's definitely got that big bully body. Absolutely. He's big, man. He's about 6'7", 6'6", 6'7". So he's big and he's strong and he goes to that rack. You know what I mean? He's tough to defend. He's tough to guard. So, like I said, he's averaging 19 and a half points a game for us, man. So those points are needed. So I think everybody's got their place with this team. I think that's why we're winning and we're playing so well. We're running like a well-oiled machine, man. So that's because everybody knows their responsibility. And I don't think also, too, even with Randall being who he is, as far as all-star, and Brunson being who he is, RJ knowing who he is, and, top draft pick, making all this money. I don't see any egos there. I don't see no egos. Everybody feels like we're all equal. We know guys' roles, but that doesn't mean because Randall's a scorer, right? And he's an all-star. It doesn't mean his role is a lot better than Josh Hart's. To me, they're the same. because of what Josh Hart does and what he brings to the table. So to me, him and Randall are equal. Because sometimes Randall's not willing to do what Josh Hart is willing to do. And sometimes those things that Josh Hart does are game-winning plays. So I think within the team, they all understand that about each other, if that makes any sense. They all understand each role and understand that every role is just as important. Right? And I think that that's what's really helping them form to be a brotherhood, man, because they're able to identify with each other's roles and making each other feel that, hey, man, even though you're not scoring, you're blocking, you're rebounding, that's just as important as my buckets because we need that. Like, to me, what our Hart does is just as important what RJ does. Like, I love our Hart. I love what he brings off the bench. I love his intensity. I love that he bangs in there, man. He gets in there. He gets in people's chest. I love that about him. He gets in there. He rips down rebounds. He's strong in there, man. I love that. That can't be coached, right? So it's just a culture, man. It's just a culture, and I really truly have to give that up to Jalen Brunson, man. He's brought over a winning culture, and then him and Josh Hart are from the same DNA, man. So it's just spreading like osmosis, man. It truly is. So it's great to see. It really, really is. Last night was just fabulous, man. It really, really, truly was, and I think honestly too, you're starting to see how the winning and how well we're playing, how it's spilling over to even Tibbs. Because when Randall hit the shot, you saw Tibbs go like that. We ain't never seen Tibbs like that. So I think he's starting to rub for him too. Agent Argo. Okay. Julius stated that the team spends plenty of quality time together off the court, right? He said that they love each other. Absolutely. I said that earlier. His mentality is in a different place compared to last season. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I'm glad you put that, because when you say, we all love each other, that's what I mean by the brotherhood, man. They don't feel like one person is better than the other. When you have that with a team, that team is dangerous, man, because now you know that I got to be at my best, not at the best for myself, but at the best for my team. So it's bigger than you. It's not about the name on the back of your jersey. It's about the name on the front. So that's what you're playing for. And that's a dangerous team, because also, too, with them playing for the name in the front of their jersey, they're also uber talented, too. Guys can ball. It ain't like they're a bunch of, scrubs out there that's just trying to figure it out. No, those guys are uber talented, man. So now you add that with effort and intensity. You get these, that's a great recipe. All right, Earl, love your content all the time. This loose offense is refreshing. Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's Brunson, man. Remember, guys, let's take it back old school basketball. You can go back to the 60s, 70s. Bob Cousy. You even come to Tiny Archibald, Kenny Anderson, Pistol Pete, whatever, Isaiah Thomas. The point guard sets the tone. He sets the tone on how the team runs. He's basically the head coach on the court. How he runs the show is how the team is. Showtime was Showtime, not because of Worthy, because of Magic. Showtime was Showtime, not because of Kareem, not because of Byron Scott, because Magic. He ran that show, man. When he got out on that break, on that fast break, that's when it became Showtime. Because however he dished it or whatever, it's however it looked. And by his passes and the guys finishing with the dunk, it wasn't the dunk that electrified the crowd. It was Magic getting in that open court. You know what I mean? It was like NASCAR basketball. Point guard runs the show, man. And Brunson has been able to bring that, to make that offense what it is. Agent Brunson has made it easier for Julius Randle, absolutely, to not be the primary ball handler. Now Julius is focused on his game more than before. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because now Randall can go, because the key with any ball player, right? You got to get to your spots, right? You got to get to your spots, because when you get to your spots, now you can dominate. That's what made Melo so great, Jordan so great, Kobe. All those guys that are top scorers, they have spots, man, that they want to get into. When you got a point guard that can facilitate, now I don't have to work as hard. So if I don't have to work as hard, that makes my life much easier, and as a ball player, makes it 20 times easier. And then Randall doesn't feel like I have to carry the load. Because like I said, in the fourth quarter yesterday, what happened? Randall was coming down. No, Randall kind of took a back seat a little bit. And Brunson kind of was taking over. Once Brunson kind of took over a little bit, Randall said, okay, now let me cook. So I took maybe a couple of plays off, now I can cook. So that changes everything, but that's all because of Brunson. Brunson's changed everything. He is the team MVP, period. I understand Randall's an all-star. We got the redemption with Randall. I get it, but the team MVP is Brunson. You take Brunson out of this lineup, this team is the same team it was last year. And that's just not because of his scoring. But what he does cannot be measured in a stat book, anywhere. It can't be measured, man. What he's done for the mentality of these guys. There's something that has to be said for a guy who's part of a winning culture and used to winning, because you bring a different mentality to the team. Sharon Bell, how you doing, Sharon? I see you subscribed. I appreciate you coming by. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated. Thank you so much. I think RJ is trying to prove that he deserves the bag. You know what? I think so, but I also think it's not just a matter of deserving the bag. It's a lot of pressure, man, with being the number 3 pick, right? And knowing that a couple of cats that was chosen ahead of you have been all-stars. John Morant and Zion. And Zion is his boy, from Duke. So, he's got pressure to prove that he's not a fluke, right? Because once again, he's a young guy, man. So he wants to show at times that he deserves the same amount of acclaim that those other guys have got. Because remember, he was picked high. And also, too, it's not RJ's a scrub. RJ was the number 1 player coming out of high school. So he went to Duke, right? He was getting busy out there, right? So it's a lot of things, a lot of ego involved. But that's where, someone has to pull his coattail and kind of tell him, it's not, B, calm down, man. But he's so young that sometimes he gets in his own way. But I will say this. He's had his moments this year where he's looked really, really well. He's played really, really well. Last year, he was exceptional. That's why he got the bag. So now he's just, like I said before, he's just trying to adjust to Brunson. But he, he's coming around, man. Hey, listen, once again, he's averaging 19.5 points a game. I mean, when he the thing with him is that he doesn't really get down on himself. Like, if you notice, some guys, they play bad in the beginning, and that will shut down their whole game. He doesn't do that. So if he starts off kind of slow, when he comes back in, he'll like reel off 8-10 points straight. And that will boost the Knicks lead up higher or help us get the lead, right? So you'll be like, okay, RJ, all right, right? So then you forget because he has a short memory, man. So he just, like I said, there's a couple of things he's got to, tighten up as far as his game goes. But I'm not really too worried about him, man. I'm not. He's gonna evolve, man. He's gonna grow as a player. He's gonna get better. He's not gonna be this way forever. He's gonna get better. Trust me. So I'm just glad he's with us. I would not trade him. I think he has a lot of upside. Remember, once again, you can't coach height. He's 6'7" and he's big. He can. All you gotta do is work on his jump shot. He can shoot better. He's just got to get in the gym and play ball, as opposed to just playing with a trainer. That's not going to help you. So I love his upside. He's 6'6", 6'7" wing guard, young, athletic, can score the ball. We got to keep him. He's part of the young guys, man. IQ, Grimes, RJ, Big Mitch, all those guys got to stay. They all got to stay. They are a young core now. They're on the table to get somebody else that's young, right? Like if they say, okay, Like someone mentioned in my last live, we can get Jokic, right? Get a Joker. That's something different. Now we gotta have a conversation, right? But all in all, I'm excited, man. So guys, listen. I want to ask you guys, listen. Can we win the East? Can we win the East with the team that we have and the way that we're playing? Can we win the East? Put thumbs up. Put yeah. Put no. Whatever. Put it in the chat. But can we win the East? I think we can. I think we can. And the reason why I think we can is because I think people are taking us for granted. I think they are. I think that a lot of teams feel like it's a fluke, right? It's kind of similar to what happened uh 2 years ago, right? In the bubble, right? That's just my opinion. I think that that's what a lot of teams think. They're going to be really blown away when they see how we play and they see, okay, they ain't no joke. And I think that's why we're catching teams, right? The toughest game will be against the Bucks. Yeah, the Bucks are tough, man. Just matchup wise, I talked about this in my other live. Matchup wise, they cause us a lot of issues, a lot of problems. They just do. They just do. They're big too. They're big. They're big. You understand? Middleton 6'8", 6'9", the Greek Freaks basically 7 feet. Brooke Lopez is 7 feet. Right? You got Bobby Portis, he's about 6'10". Jay Crowder's about 6'5", 6'6". Drew Holiday's about 6'6", 6'7". They picked up somebody else too, man, that I forgot, that I heard that they picked up. I think they picked him up in waivers. Was it Gorgon Dragic? I think Gorgon Dragic, right? I think they picked him up from waivers. So they got a backup point guard there for Drew Holiday, right? He's solid. So they're going to be tough, man. The playoffs is all about matchups. It's all about matchups and just matching up, man. You got to match up the right way because that's the key. In the playoffs, too, it's possessions are key. So you get down 3 or 5 in the playoffs, it feels like 10 points. The only team where it doesn't make it feel like 10 points is the Warriors, right? Because the way they can fill it up, it doesn't matter. No lead is safe. But anybody else, like when you get up like 5 or 6 points or 7 points in the playoffs, it's tough because the possessions are tougher, defenses are tougher, the refs call the game differently, right? So, the one thing I do like about the Knicks is that we can score the ball. We could definitely score it. So I'm not too worried about us as far as points go. We just got to lock in defensively. We can't have lapses. Sometimes we have last night we had some lapses, but also too, like I said, Jimmy Butler was getting a lot of calls, man. Like ticky tack stuff, man. I was like, what? He was getting too many calls last night, man. It was blowing my mind the type of calls he was getting. It was like out of control. Agent Super Argo. Okay. If RJ and Obi can come back to reality, the team would be extremely deadly. All right. Obi come back to reality in what way? I know what the whole talk is with RJ. Like, just, you got to play better. Like, I get that. But Obi in what sense? Yeah, they wasn't calling nothing agent, man. They was hacking Randall like crazy. You blow on. They was giving Jimmy Butler Jordan treatment last night, and he doesn't deserve that. He's a hell of a player, a perennial all-star, but I mean they were giving him everything. Sharon Bell, okay. I actually put money on them winning the East. Ooh, okay. Had D Rose stay healthy last year, I think they would have improved on the previous year performance. Good point. I mean, good point. But D Rose wasn't a problem last year, Sharon. He wasn't. Randall was the problem. Period. End of story. He's last year he was such a roller coaster. I mean, it was like I said earlier, man. We were ready to get rid of him for a bag of Doritos. Like it was bad. It was really, really, really bad. He didn't play well. His numbers would say different. I think he was 20-9 last year, but he didn't play well. And he was fighting with the teammates, right? Smacking laptops out of the coach's hands, getting fights, like just crazy street stuff, right? Like it's like, yo, dude, what are you doing, man? Just going bonkers. I don't know what was wrong with him last year, man. I don't know what was going on. But they got the therapist on the sideline now with him, whispering in his ear before the game. You know, I don't know what he's saying to him. I wonder. But he's saying something to him. Okay, all right. This is what you were saying about Obi. Okay, Obi plays timid, and he should be past that at this point in his career. IQ is playing with no fear, aggressive. Okay, agreed. All right. Obi, it's just the mentality, man. I don't know. I mean, I know what you're saying because I had guys on my team like that too, and I'm like, yo, this dude is crazy talented. Like, why is he like a goofball, right? Like, why does he play so much, right? If he was serious, he would be killing, right? Like, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. But I just think with Obi, he's not a I don't consider him to be an alpha guy. I'm not saying he's a beta dude, but even I don't consider him to be an alpha dude. Like RJ's an alpha guy. Like I'm gonna get the ball, I'm doing me, right? Obi's not like that. Now, if he was like that, he would be scoring the pill a lot because he's uber athletic and he could slash. He was slashing yesterday, doing head fakes, going to the rim, finishing. I was like, yo, Obi, do more of that. But I don't know, like what, you know, it's a mentality, man. It's a mentality. He needs to kind of shift that. So I do see what you're saying, but I don't know. I don't know personality wise. I don't know if he's like that. You know what I'm saying? Just I don't know. You know what I mean? But I do see what you're saying. D Rose was the stabilizing force that kept Randall in check. Yes and no, man. I can't say that because nobody could keep Randall in check last year. Nobody. You know? And I just think something happened last year. It wasn't a matter of us losing or Derrick Rose getting hurt. I don't think it was none of that. I just think Randall coming off the year that he had the year prior, that was his first All Star appearance. So what happens a lot of times, right? With a lot of people, a lot of players, they start feeling themselves. So they come into the next year like, yeah, I'm the man. I'm the All Star. Woo with the woo. And when you're kind of faced with some obstacles, how do you handle that? His way of handling it was giving us a thumbs down. That shows you his immaturity, especially in this city. So as quickly as they'll love you, they'll chew you up and spit you out. That's how it is in New York. That's just who we are. Period. End of story. It's not what you did for me yesterday. It's what have you done for me lately. Period. That's just what it is. No one cares about last week. No one cares about an hour ago. No one cares about a month ago. Can you do it again? So yeah, last year was nice, but can you do it again? See, Randall got away. He can get away with that stuff in New Orleans or Memphis or San Antonio or any of them other small towns, right? He can't do that here in this city. Period. And he found that out very quickly. So that's why he had to change his mentality and putting the trainer on the bench, his trainer, a guy that kind of get his mental right, and then having a guy that's in his prime, like Jalen Brunson, that could take the responsibility away from him. I like Derrick Rose, but Derrick Rose is kind of shot, man. He just doesn't have it anymore. So even Rose getting injured, but Rose's skill set last year still wasn't equal to what Brunson is. Remember what Brunson did last year in the playoffs. So Brunson's on a totally different level right now than Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is on his way out. So Brunson coming in and Brunson kind of being like an alpha dog. And there's a couple of times where Brunson will have the ball, Randall will ask for it, he'll wave Randall off. He'll wave him off. And say nah, I'm cooking. You stay over there. I'm running this because I'm the point guard. Randall fall back. You know what I'm saying? Derrick Rose, maybe old Derrick Rose could have did that, but not now. Not this version of him. You know what I mean? So I like D Rose. Huge fan of him. He's a vet, man. He's pretty much on his last legs. I think he's pretty much done. Honestly, I think he's maybe got another year left. They'll probably just keep him around, keep him on the bench, just because of his relationship with Tibbs and everybody. You know what I mean? So, but I think But guys, listen. But come on, answer. Can we win the East? Can we win the East? Can we knock off Boston? Can we knock off Philly? Philly's tough. We beat them in the Garden, and then we lost to them at Philly. Philly's tough. We got Boston tomorrow night, and they're going to be fully loaded now. Last 2 times we beat them, they weren't fully loaded. First time we beat them, Marcus Smart didn't play. Last time we beat them, Jaylen Brown didn't play. Remember, he got the broken face or whatever. So now he's wearing the mask. He's going to beat it tomorrow. So they're going to have everybody. But, once again, I don't care who they got. They have nobody for Randall. Nobody. You can put Smart on Brunson. You can slow him down a little bit. But you see that didn't matter last time because Brunson got busy on him. But they have nobody for Randall. Nobody. So, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting game. But I love this, man. I love it all. I love what's happening. I love the fact that we're kind of getting pushed. We're going to need this. It's very, very important for what it is that we're trying to get to. Because we're trying to get in the conversation with the upper echelon of those teams. We want to be in the mix. We want to be in those talks, right? I want people talking about us like how they used to talk about the Knicks in the 90s. They used to talk about us championship contenders every year. With Ewing and the boys. Every year we were championship contenders. So I want that same thing to be with the same group. All these guys are under 30. Randall's 28. Hart's 27. Brunson's 26. RJ's 22. Obi's 25. Big Mitch is 24, I think. IQ is 22. Grimes is 21. Guy's a young man. Young. But I do think we are one piece away. So I asked you guys earlier about if we could win the East. I'm going to ask you another question. What other piece do you think we need? Do we need another scoring guard? Another wing? What do we do? Because remember, we can still move Fourier. Fourier's still there. So you can move Fourier, possibly Obi, and some picks for somebody. What would you do? Sharon Bell, the only team I fear is Milwaukee. I'm hoping that someone like Atlanta can sneak past them in the first round. I like that. I said that the other day. If someone could knock them off, like you said, I love the word you use, sneak, right? Exactly, because that's what it would be like sneak attack, right? Can knock them off in the first round because they might have an off series. Maybe someone not Atlanta. Maybe someone like Miami. Maybe someone like Washington. Right? Washington got some nice pieces over there that can sneak in and knock off the Bucks in 7. That can happen. Listen, I'm telling you, if that could happen, we got something cooking. We got something cooking. We definitely got something cooking, man. Because now there's nobody I'm afraid of. Nobody. If the Bucks are gone, there's nobody I fear. And then now we talking about the Knicks going to the finals. Oh man. Oh man. Yo, listen. If the Knicks, the city would be in a frenzy. The city would be in a frenzy. Mayor Adams would have to shut down the whole 34th Street. It'll be in a frenzy. The only problem with such a young team is paying them all. No. I'm gonna break it down to you right now. Why not? Randall's locked in. Mitch is locked in. Brunson is locked in. All on friendly deals. Randall only got $100 million. Brunson got $100 million. Mitch, I think, got maybe $60 million, something like that. We just locked in RJ for $100 million. Those are all friendly deals. Those are not the max. If you look around the league and see what these guys are getting $200 million, $400 million. It's crazy what the guys are getting. We got friendly deals. It's 4 players. 4 of our key players. Right? Josh Hart is not going anywhere. He's going to stay. I don't think he leaves. I think he stays here, stays close with his friends. Remember, Mikal Bridges over there in Brooklyn. Of course, you got Brunson here. And like he said, he just wants a place to call home. He's jumped around the league a lot. This is the only place where he feels like, okay, this could be something special. We're building something here, and these guys want me here. So they can get a great deal with him. They're not going to railroad him. He's not going to get $100 million, but he's going to be okay with not getting $100 million. He just wants to be someplace. He even said it. He wants to be someplace to call home. We're going to re-sign him with no problem. It's 5. Next 2 players is IQ and Grimes. They're all on rookie deals. You can play IQ this year and get rid of him and take care of him like you did RJ. You pay him. You could pay him like a decent amount. You don't have to pay him nothing crazy like $200. You don't have to do that with him because he's still on a rookie deal. Grimes, you got. I think you got Grimes like for another year. I think Grimes is up next year. Now you got to get Grimes next year, but you're not gonna have to pay Grimes top dollar neither. These guys aren't all stars. Like you don't have to pay them crazy. Now they can want to go someplace else, but you got once again. You got to think about the culture that they're building here. Are these guys going to want to leave? They're not going to want to leave. I don't think they're going anywhere. So that's it. So I just told you we're good because we did not pay Randall. We didn't give Randall the max. We got Brunson on a sweet deal, man. We got him for some quarter waters, some annihilators, and a bunch of the what is it? The penny fishes. You know what I'm saying? Remember the penny fishes we used to get for a penny? We got him for that. He's played his contract. And we got RJ on a deal because RJ we didn't give RJ the max. He signed it because he wanted to be here too. Tibbs wants to keep Josh Hart, right? If the Knicks could sign Bridges down the line, that's not going to happen, man. They're not going to get Bridges. Bridges was the main piece that Brooklyn wanted. Now I don't know what Bridges is up for contract. If you guys can look and find out for me, let me know. I'll look it up. I can't look it up right now, but I'll look it up. But what I'm saying is, if Bridges wants to leave, that's something different. But they're gonna try to give him the bag to stay. They're gonna try to give him the bag. The Knicks gave him more than what Dallas is offering, and we still got a good deal. Right, but you know what's crazy? Whatever Dallas offered him, that was just like they just gave it to him to see what he was going to say. You know, you got to negotiate. So he could have got more from Dallas. He could have got more some other place, but he didn't want to go no other place. He wanted to come here. He wanted to come home. This is where he wanted to come because his dad played here. Remember, him and his dad are super close. Him and his dad have a great relationship. Of course, he plays basketball because of his dad. Him and his dad are right-handers, but they shoot with their left. His pops taught him. So remember, the Knicks hired his dad because they knew he was coming. They knew he was coming. Dallas they didn't even get a chance to offer or do a counter offer. He said, "Nah, I'm out. I'm signing with the Knicks." He didn't look at no other team. He didn't look at no other team because he wanted to be here. Remember, the Knicks signed his dad before they signed him. His dad was on the coaching staff. That's why it's that whole tampering thing. The Knicks lost a second-round pick because of that. They got in trouble by the league because they said it was tampering. They hired the dad before he even came. So they knew he was coming. He wanted to be here, man. So that's the thing. So guys are going to go certain places if they want to be places. And they don't have a problem. But here's the thing, though, guys. You got to understand. With the new collective bargaining agreement coming up, you know, guys are going to be making a lot more money. Guys can ask for $50 million a year. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be making big money, right? So the Knicks are going to be able, especially with, you know, we got the money to do it. You know, we're the biggest market. So, you know, we got the space and the money. We're like the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? We could pay players, man, just because of what we earn as far as just, you know, us being, you know, media capital one, right? So with us giving these friendly deals to these guys, we're going to be able to afford to pay these players because with the new bargaining agreement that's going to come out, players can earn more, so that means we can pay more. So the cap is going to get higher. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a lot of money that's going to be moved around next couple of years, like probably like next 3 years, 2 years, I think 2-3 years. So that's just going to change. So Knicks going to be able to offer more money because the cap is going to be higher. You know what I'm saying? So, so I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about not even worried. I'm just thinking about another piece that we're going to bring in. Because we got all those pick guys. Remember, we still got like 10 first-round picks, man. We gave up one for Josh Hart. But I think we had a bunch of them, man. We had a bunch of picks. We got a bunch of picks. And we got some guys who other teams may want. Like a Fourier is still a solid player. He just doesn't fit what we do. Because in order to play for us, you got to be able to defend and you got to be able to score the ball. Fourier can't defend. That's why he's on the bench. He can score the pill, but he can't defend. It's like his feet are stuck in cement. You know what I mean? He can't defend. But he can shoot the pill, though. He'll be great. Honestly, if you want to be honest, Fourier would be great in Golden State. Because none of them cats play defense except for Draymond and Clay. So he'll be great in Golden State, rolling off screens, just pulling. He'll be great. But so you got his contract. We're going to probably dump this summer, probably do a trade or something like that, and try to bring in somebody. Which I think will be fabulous. Which I think will be awesome. Let me check here. Let me see what time. What time is the game on? Man. 7:30. ESPN tomorrow. 7:30 ESPN tomorrow. Let's get ready, man. Prime time on ESPN. Listen, man. We gotta see. I don't want to say too much. There's a lot of things I want to say. I don't like just splurting out stuff. But I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I think this feels different this year. I don't know why, but it feels different. It really, really does. So I can't wait. If we get 9 in a row tomorrow, watch out. I think we got that 4th seed. So we got that 4th seed. We good. We're gonna knock Cleveland out in 6. I said it right now. Cleveland in 6. But listen, guys, let me get up out of here. I appreciate you guys coming by. God bless to all you guys. Please be safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Let's get this win tomorrow. It's redemption season for Randall, man. Redemption season for Randall. So we got to keep this rolling. All right, but I appreciate you guys coming by. I appreciate my new subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Everybody enjoy their Saturday. The rest of their weekend. Let's get a win tomorrow. I'm going to try to do a live on Monday. All right. I'm LV Live, and I'm out, people. Peace.